welcome to the Precious Blood Center, and this is Lucia Ferrara. I'm Director of Hospitality here at the center, and we're starting a series called Cooking and Spirituality. So today we're going to start with how to bake a homemade pie crust. So we have a couple simple ingredients. First, we're going to need 2.5 cups of flour, all-purpose flour, about a tablespoon of salt, a teaspoon of salt, a tablespoon of sugar, and that is completely optional. And I've prepared about 1.5 cups of ice water, and I mean ice water, and we'll use that. And then we're going to need 2 sticks of butter, and they need to be solid cold, really, really cold, ice cold. So make sure they're refrigerated and take them out right before you bake them because you want the butter to be cold. So I'm going to add my 2.5 cups. I already had a cup in there, another cup, and then 1/2. And then with my butter, what we're going to do is we're going to dice the butter into small little cubes. So this is what I like to do. And you just kind of dice it. And then we're going to stick butter in there. We're not going to... The less you touch your pie crust, the better it becomes, because it doesn't activate the gluten in the crust. Therefore, it makes it a lot lighter and flakier. And in order to have a good pie crust, those are the components that you want, for it to be flaky and light. So we've diced this up. We're going to put it in there. Try not to touch it, because you don't want the heat from your hands to get into the butter and melt. So we're going to start off then. I know I told you a teaspoon of salt, but I've done this so many times I really don't measure things. So I'm just going to go like that. And then about a tablespoon of sugar, which is optional. I like sugar. I'll put a little sugar in there. Then we're going to start out with 4 tablespoons of the ice water. We're going to stick it in there. And what we're going to do is start blending your butter and the flour. And you're going to blend it until it becomes pea-sized. Never touching your dough. You don't want to touch your dough yet. Because remember, the less you touch it with your hands, the flakier and lighter the crust. So I'm going to continue to do this. As you can see, it's kind of getting pea-sized. I don't think I'm going to add any more tablespoons of water quite yet, because I want my butter to get even smaller sized. Okay. So here is where we start to knead the dough, so to speak. So I'm going to put another 2 tablespoons of ice cold water. You could stick your hand in there now, but you don't want to You just kind of want to mix it a little bit like this until it gets into a hard ball. Another trick you could use is some people will use parchment paper, and you will put this mixture into the parchment paper, and you will never have to actually touch the dough. So we're going to get this in a nice ball here. And I am going to now put it on the counter. And just do this a couple of times. Make sure we have all the dough. And that is the pie crust dough. Now this will make 2 shells, so I'm going to cut it in half. And we're going to kind of round them off a little bit. And then you're going to put it in some plastic wrap. And you're going to let your dough chill for about 30 minutes in the refrigerator. Okay, we're going to put that in the refrigerator and we'll come right back. Hi, welcome back. So we've got our dough here that we had in the refrigerator for about 30 minutes. And I've lightly floured our surface here. And I'm going to take the dough out of the cellophane and we're going to start rolling. And the key to rolling a pie crust is starting from the middle. So we're going to go to the middle and we're going to start twisting it around here like this in a circle. And as you go, I kind of like to put a little more flour so it doesn't become sticky. So you're rolling from the inside, the middle, out. And as you go, you're going to turn your dough, okay? Middle out. And you can kind of see when you're rolling it out, you can kind of see those real nice pieces of butter in there. So I think we can use this. Didn't have to, and did you notice I barely touched it? So what we're going to do now, we're going to kind of fold it over as much as you can. And we're going to stick this on a, don't forget to spray your pan with the nonstick cooking spray. You're going to stretch this out to the sides of the pan like this. And yes, I like a pretty pie, but more importantly, I like a good tasting pie. So I'll be honest, I don't crimp mine that great, but the way you crimp is you stick your 2 fingers and your thumbs together and just crimp it like that. Some people like to use a fork to crimp, and that's fine too. So we're going to go all the way around, tucking that extra bit of crust underneath. If you have a lot of crust, you could tear it off. So we're going to go all the way around with that. And then when you're done doing that and crimping it, kind of stretch it out. You're going to take your fork, poke some holes so it allows the air to come up and there won't be any bubbles. And then what we do is we take what we call a little egg wash. Some people like to stick a little milk or cream in there. I stuck water in here. So just get an egg white and a little bit of water. And what you're going to do is you're going to kind of just, with the pastry brush, just brush it on the bottom and around your sides. And, okay guys, so we've done crimping, we've egg washed our pie. Now we're going to stick it in the oven at 425 from anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes. All ovens are different, so you have to kind of figure out what your oven will do. You may have to go 420, 450, but typically it's 425 for about 20 to 30 minutes. So when it's done, it should look something like this. So just kind of a light brown crust. So next we are going to cook the old-fashioned coconut cream filling. So we'll be right back with that.